guys, this is not just about homelessness now, it's about working.
Because the cost of living in America is just too high. So
at one point, it is lunchtime for me. I'm feeling like burgers, and
and I'm going to show you how I get ready for bed when it's
Homeless living in my car for 5 years because of the out of control rent prices.
Hey y'all.
My name's Tyler, and I live here in this Prius.
I am homeless living here in my car, even though I work often 50 to 60 hours every single week by doing food deliveries and grocery deliveries. I walk
Every night across America, thousands of people finish a full day of work, clock out, and return home. But for a growing number of Americans, home isn't a house or an apartment. It's the driver's seat of a car. Rising rent, record inflation, and a severe housing shortage have pushed working people into an impossible situation. Teachers, nurses, delivery drivers, retail workers, and office employees are being forced to sleep in parking lots simply because they can no longer afford a place to live. This isn't just a homelessness crisis. It's a housing crisis affecting people who have jobs, pay taxes, and do everything society expects of them. So how did one of the world's richest countries reach this point? Let's find out.
You guys, this is not just about homelessness now, it's about working people that are actually working and not having an option to be in a home. These are people that used to rent, but because of different situations in life and the cost of rent and all of the other factors that are going into it, they are now living in vehicles. In fact, there's an estimate that over 1 million Americans, many of them employed, are now living in vehicles. So that's the shift. It's the rise of the working homeless. These individuals are choosing van life, and it's not just because of a lifestyle choice anymore. It's because of necessity. In fact, among older adults, there is a notable increase of people 55 and over living in vehicles. So again, that is the uncomfortable truth. It is the difference between people doing van life and living in a vehicle because they have no other choice.
we can enjoy the view. At one point, it is lunchtime for me. I'm feeling like burgers, and let me actually show you what I got. I paid $20 for all of this, and there's 4 patties in here, 4 buns, lettuce, a tomato, and some provolone cheese. Just an observation of how much this is gonna cost me. 20 bucks for everything, but I can make 4 burgers with it, so it's $5 per burger. But I'm really hungry, so I think we'll make a double patty. I don't know, we'll see how much I can fit in my pan. If I can fit 2 pieces, and I think I can, because they're gonna shrink, right? And these 2 pieces I'll save for later. Put them right in here. Meanwhile, I'll get my tomato. I just remembered I bought this thermometer. Hey Google, what's the temperature for cooking beef patties?
160 degrees Fahrenheit.
Alright, so 160. Let's go ahead and flip these. Meanwhile, we'll get the plate ready. Oh, that bun looks delicious. It looks really, really good. Wait, are they not halved? Do I have to do it myself? That's the wrong knife for this, but it's working. I don't have mayonnaise, but I do have some sour cream.
I live in my car because the cost of living in America is just too high. So I get questions like this, like what am I going to do if my car busts? Which I feel like is a weird way of phrasing that. But if my car does break down, I'll just get it fixed. And if it's a repair that costs more than $1,000, then I am just going to get rid of the car and then move to Europe and start a new life there. It's pretty simple. I have nothing tying me down to America. I also bought a block of cheese. This is medium cheddar. I've never had it before. But yeah, I have no anything tying me here to America. No friends, no family, so I could just like start over anywhere. And I just want to explore the world and just live life every day. How do I open a block of cheese? This is okay, but cheers everybody. We're gonna make a grilled cheese later, but instead of using bread, because I don't have bread, I have tortillas. So yeah, I think I'm gonna make that for dinner since we have cheese now. This is really fire. What other questions do you guys have? But again, this is your sign. I know some of you guys are young and don't have kids. Live life. Be happy instead.
Homeless, I live in my car, and I'm going to show you how I get ready for bed when it's cold outside. I think it's supposed to dip down into like the teens tonight, like 19 degrees or something like that. So first order of business is to warm this car up before I get all snug as a bug in my bed. So right now I have the car running with the heater going, and I'll do that for about 10 to 15 minutes. And I put my privacy curtains up on my front windows. This is what they look like. And I always put my pillow up here in the front with me while I'm heating up my car so it gets nice and warm, because I hate sleeping on an ice cold pillow. And I put my back window covers on. They're these little like screen type ones. They're breathable and they just slide over the glass. So it's all warm and toasty now, so I'm gonna hop in the back. Now I lock my car so nobody can get me. And now I just wrap up in my Magellan low temp sleeping bag. Actually, I use it as a blanket and cover myself and kind of tuck it under. And even though it's going to be frigid, I'm going to be super cozy and comfortable. It's a process, but it's worth it.
I am homeless living here in my car, even though I work often 50 to 60 hours every single week by doing food deliveries and grocery deliveries. I walk dogs and I pick up other gig work. It just isn't enough to afford rent, which is now $1,800 per month for a one-bedroom apartment. And this is for most of America, and some states are even higher than that. So this is where I live. This is my little home. And lately I have really been trying to focus on my health. And I've been buying these little salads here at Costco. I found them for a 4-pack for about $15. They come out to being a little less than $4 a salad, and they are delicious. Chicken, they come with everything. All of the ingredients are included. The chicken, the greens, the dressing, super good. I really like them. I think they're a good value. The deliveries have been really slow the past few weeks. I think people are just kind of broke with back to school and end of summer. You know, people spend a lot of money taking summer vacations, but I'm still being persistent, going out every day and trying my best. And today was a little bit better. The orders have been coming in. I'm hoping this weekend will be better. Thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful night.
My name's Tyler, and I live here in this Prius because I work between 50 and 60 hours every week, and I don't qualify for an apartment here in America. We can't continue on this path, people. This isn't acceptable. Nobody should have to live in a car that works full-time in America. We've allowed the politicians to drive us into the ditch, and we can't believe for a second that those same people are going to be the people that drive us out of the ditch. We have to wake up, America, and realize that we have got to take this country back for ourselves. We have to challenge the status quo. We have to open the conversation and the dialogue, because until we do that, things are only going to continue to get worse. So I hope that this message is well received. Please consider what I'm saying. Look at the people that are running. Are they actually doing anything? Are they a part of the status quo? We have got to make changes in this country. And I do believe better days are ahead, but we have to make changes. Thank you.
After being homeless, living in my car for 5 years because of the out of control rent prices and the cost of living crisis that we're experiencing in America right now, me and my best friend now live in a long-term hotel, and this is perfect because you can stay as long or short as you want. All the utilities are included. You don't have to make 3 times the rent. You don't have to have perfect credit, and they don't care if you have an eviction on your record. And we have made the place kind of our own, adding little touches here and there. And so far, we are absolutely loving this. And I think this is a great alternative. Is it perfect? No, but I think it is a great option. And we're making it work. And we're excited for what is to come. And I just want to say to all of you, thank you so much for watching. And if you'd like to support our channel, you can by buying a cup of coffee. The link is in bio. Thanks for watching. Have a great one, everybody.
Imagine waking up in the driver's seat of your car. Your back is stiff, the sun's already creeping through the windshield, and everything you own is packed in your trunk. For many Americans in 2025, this isn't a nightmare. It's their reality. With rent skyrocketing, groceries becoming a luxury, and wages stuck in the past, thousands have been pushed out of their homes and into their cars. And these aren't just people without jobs. These are waiters, nurses, delivery drivers, even teachers. Living in a car isn't rock bottom anymore. For many, it's the only way to survive. Today we're going to dive into this growing crisis and ask the hard question, is this what the American dream has become? Across the country, parking lots have quietly turned into makeshift neighborhoods. People sleep in sedans, SUVs, even old vans. Anything with 4 wheels and a roof. Some use gym memberships just to shower. Others park near 24-hour businesses to stay safe at night. It's happening in small towns and big cities alike. From California to Kentucky, from Florida to Oregon. This isn't isolated, and the worst part? Most of these people never thought it would happen to them. Many had stable lives, homes, and steady jobs, until rent increases, job losses, or medical bills pulled the rug from under them. Let's look at the numbers. In 2020, the average rent for a 1-bedroom apartment in the US was around $1,100. In 2025, it's nearing $1,800, and over $2,500 in major cities. Meanwhile, the federal minimum wage hasn't changed since 2009. That means Americans are earning 2009 level wages to pay 2025 level costs. Combine that with rising prices for food, healthcare, car insurance, and utilities, and it's no surprise that so many are one missed paycheck away from sleeping in their vehicle. The math just doesn't work anymore. And people are falling through the cracks, fast. But it's not just about shelter. Living in a car takes a toll on every part of a person's life. Sleep is inconsistent. Safety is always a concern, especially for women and families. There's no kitchen, no bathroom, no stability. Mental health suffers in silence. People feel shame, anxiety, and exhaustion. For children, it's even harder. They go to school tired, embarrassed, and often without basic supplies. This isn't living, it's surviving. And yet many Americans are expected to keep smiling, keep working, and keep pretending everything is okay. So how did we get here? One major reason is the commodification of housing. Big corporations and hedge funds are buying up homes and apartments, not to live in them, but to profit from them. This means higher rent, fewer options, and more people priced out. Meanwhile, local governments are struggling to provide enough affordable housing. Zoning laws, budget cuts, and political gridlock have slowed progress for years. And as always, the poorest Americans are hit first, and the hardest. When housing becomes a business, people become the collateral damage. There are some efforts being made. A few cities now offer safe parking programs, designated lots where people can sleep in their cars without fear of being towed or ticketed. Nonprofits are stepping in to help with hygiene stations, mobile showers, and emergency assistance. But it's not nearly enough. Federal and state governments are still playing catch-up. And until meaningful policies are in place to cap rent, raise wages, and expand housing access, the crisis will only grow. We need more than band-aids, we need real solutions. If this trend continues, the gap between the housed and the unhoused will only get wider. Living in a car will no longer be temporary. It will become permanent for millions. We're not just talking about the poor anymore. The middle class is now part of this conversation. College graduates, gig workers, even two-income families are no longer safe from the edge. If we allow this to continue, the American dream becomes just that, a dream. We're watching it vanish through the cracks in a broken system. Living in a car used to be a warning sign. Now it's a coping mechanism. It's what people do when they've run out of options but refuse to give up. Behind every foggy windshield is a person trying their best to stay clean, stay safe, stay human. This crisis deserves our attention. It deserves action. Because if a full-time worker can't afford a roof over their head in the richest country on earth, something is deeply wrong. And until we face it, the line between
landlords, you're not checking our credit score anymore. You're checking our blood pressure. You want 3 times the monthly income to rent some of these places? Average rent in America just hit $3,000. So $9,000 a month. The average American is not making that kind of money. This shit's crazy, dude.
The United States housing market is about to collapse 80 to 90%, which means homes that were worth 1.5 million will be worth 300,000. Now, the reason why is simple. The U.S. housing market has reached its most unaffordable level in history. People cannot afford to buy homes. And if they cannot afford to buy homes, the market must crash. But how hard is this market going to crash? When you look at the data, this crash is most likely going to be worse than the crash that we saw in 2008. We are going to see prices come down 80 to 95%.
This is ridiculous. He doesn't give us one fact to why the market is going to crash. Saying the market must crash or when you look at the data are not facts. Here's the truth. Yes, housing is less affordable and some markets are off 10 to 15% from all-time highs. But homeowners also have more equity than any time in history, and home prices nationally are up year over year. What this guy is talking about is a full-on depression without how something like this is going to even happen. Trust the data and make sure you tune out the noise when it comes to making financial decisions that affect you and your family.
Homeownership is hopeless for Gen Z, explained in 2 minutes. This first graph shows just how bleak the current situation is. Back in 1970, half of 30-year-olds were married and homeowners. That's just unthinkable for Gen Z. Kids these days aren't just magically lazier than previous generations. We work just as hard as our parents did. And like them, we were raised to strive for the American dream. That's the promise of a stable and dignified life available to everybody who's willing to work hard for it. And the textbook example was homeownership. It's the place to raise your family and build the wealth that you'll pass on to your kids. We're told to put in our 40 hours of work every single week, but work just doesn't pay like it used to. Americans haven't gotten a raise since the 1980s. Wages haven't increased faster than inflation and cost of living. So even if it seems like our paychecks are higher, we've got less left in our pockets after expenses like healthcare, housing, and insurance. What's made things worse is that home prices have skyrocketed. Back in 1985, the median home cost $249K, while the median family made $71K. But in the year 2022, the median family income only went up to $74,000, while the median home price jumped up to $468,000. Now, how this happened is a bit complicated, and there's a lot of causes. There's NIMBYs, or people who own their homes already and want the value to go up, so they restrict the construction of new housing so that their home price is inflated. Zoning regulations make it literally illegal in large parts of the country to build anything new except for strip malls, parking lots, single-family homes, and luxury apartments. Wall Street firms have been outbidding families for homes and turning those into rentals. Also, interest rates on mortgages are at a 20-year high, making buying a home super expensive. Economics and politics can be confusing and exhausting, but they'll dominate your life whether you're paying attention or not. I'm breaking down the big topics to make them more accessible and to expose all of the ways that corporate America is farming you. Follow along to stay informed.
When people tell you there's a housing crisis and a rent crisis and things like that, this is the perfect example. This home looks like a nice home on the outside, right? They're asking for a regular rate on this home about $1,700, okay? You're like, okay, but 17, that's not bad, right? You go to the living room. It looks a bit dated, but anybody that can make a home their own, this is not bad. You can add you a big area rug in here, add you some decorations. You can make this the bomb. Being that the living room is dated, that's no problem. What you supposed to do with this? What? Look at this floor. What? This home was built in 1957. They want $1,700 for a home that they have not updated since they built it. Not the tile, not this wallpaper, what is this? Honey, look at this. The walls are dirty. What? I have no words. Look at his back. Look nasty. This look rusted. Look at this. What is somebody supposed to do with this? But want to ask for pricing, the same kind of pricing for updated units and homes these days. How are you in the market charging the same as somebody who has updated their home, even if they built it in 1957? Look at this roof. This looked like water damage or something. Something was damaged, a fire. They ain't tried to update that. They put in some new appliances, but that don't mean you jack the rent up on this 1957 built ass house that much. Look at this. At best, okay, you need to be charging $1,200, maybe $1,300. What? $1,700 they want for this. I'm talking about delusional.